In the annals of unexplained phenomena, certain stories burrow deeper into the collective psyche, tales that blur the line between reality and nightmare. Among these enigmas, a winged specter emerged from the shadows of rural West Virginia in the mid-1960s, an entity known as the Mothman. This is not just a campfire story. It is a documented series of events that gripped a community, intertwined with tragedy, and continues to fuel debate and fascination decades later. Our investigation, the Obscura Project, delves into the heart of this legend, seeking to unravel the truth behind the Mothman of Point Pleasant. The Mothman saga begins in November 1966 in and around Point Pleasant, a town nestled where the Ohio and Kanawha rivers converge. Though named Mothman, early descriptions painted a picture less of a delicate moth and more of a menacing avian humanoid. Initial accounts struggled to define it. Was it a bird, a creature, something else entirely? But one chilling detail remained consistent: piercing red eyes that seemed to glow with an inner light. The genesis of the Mothman panic can be traced to the night of November 15th, 1966. Two young couples, Roger and Linda Scarberry, and Steve and Mary Mallett, were driving near the TNT area, a relic of World War II, a deserted munitions plant north of Point Pleasant. What they encountered that night would irrevocably alter the town's history and birth a legend. As they passed the abandoned power plant within the TNT area, a pair of red eyes pierced the darkness. Suddenly, a large black creature took flight. Linda Scarberry described it as resembling a slender, muscular man, standing approximately 7 feet tall, with vast, white wings. Most disturbingly, she recalled being unable to discern facial features, fixated instead by the hypnotic pull of those crimson eyes. The creature, emitting a screeching sound, relentlessly pursued their vehicle as they sped towards Point Pleasant, keeping pace even as their speedometer allegedly touched 100 miles per hour. They weren't the only ones. The Scarberrys and Malletts weren't alone in their terror. Volunteer firemen and numerous other Point Pleasant residents soon came forward with strikingly similar stories. Reports flooded in, all describing a large winged being with those unmistakable red eyes. Newell Partridge, a local contractor, had his own harrowing encounter. Shining a flashlight into a field, he was met with the intense red glare of eyes, like bicycle reflectors. Adding to the unsettling atmosphere, Partridge also reported bizarre buzzing noises emanating from his television set around the time of the sightings, and the inexplicable disappearance of his dog, further fueling the growing unease. Panic began to ripple through Point Pleasant. Some residents, gripped by fear, armed themselves, hunting rifles at the ready, convinced they were facing something truly malevolent. The local newspaper, the Point Pleasant Register, captured the initial shock and confusion with the headline, "Couples See Man-Sized Bird, Creature Something." Mary Heyer, a journalist from the Athens, Ohio Messenger, became one of the first to bring the Mothman story to a wider audience. Her November 16th article proclaiming, "Winged, red-eyed thing chases Point Pleasant couples across countryside." The Mothman had officially entered the public consciousness. The Mothman sightings continued for over a year, casting a long shadow over Point Pleasant. Then, on December 15th, 1967, tragedy struck. The Silver Bridge connecting Point Pleasant to Gallipolis, Ohio, collapsed into the Ohio River during rush hour. 46 lives were lost in the devastating disaster. In the wake of the collapse, a chilling connection began to emerge. intertwining the Mothman legend with this very real catastrophe. Eyewitness accounts surfaced, placing the Mothman near the Silver Bridge shortly before its collapse. For some, this was no mere coincidence. The Mothman, they believed, was not just a creature, but an omen, a harbinger of doom, its appearance a chilling prelude to the tragedy. Was it a warning, ignored, or something far more sinister? The bridge collapse cemented the Mothman's place in local lore, transforming it from a frightening anomaly into a symbol of impending disaster. But what was the Mothman? Could there be a rational explanation for the sightings? Skeptics and scientists have offered various theories. One of the most prominent explanations involves misidentification. Sheriff George Johnson, amidst the initial reports, suggested the creature was simply an unusually large heron, a local bird colloquially known as a shite poke. Others have proposed sandhill cranes or large owls as likely candidates. The intensely reported red eyes offer a crucial clue. Linda Scarberry herself later clarified that the glowing red eyes only appeared when illuminated by car headlights. This detail is echoed by other witnesses who described reflector-like eyes when flashlight beams caught them. This phenomenon, known as eye shine, is common in nocturnal animals, particularly owls, due to a membrane behind their retina called the tapetum lucidum, which reflects light, enhancing night vision. The TNT area, ground zero for many sightings, is adjacent to the McClintock Wildlife Management Area, a known bird sanctuary with a significant owl population. Various owl species, including barn owls, great horned owls, and barred owls, all found in West Virginia, exhibit this crimson eye shine and possess features that, when viewed in fleeting, stressful nocturnal encounters, could be exaggerated and misinterpreted as something monstrous. One local even shot a large bird during the Mothman period, tentatively identified as a snowy owl, further suggesting the presence of large, potentially misidentified avian creatures. Beyond misidentification, psychological factors may have played a significant role. In times of stress and uncertainty, fear can be contagious. The concept of mass hysteria, or fear contagion, suggests that initial reports, amplified by media attention and fueled by pre-existing anxieties, could have led to a collective reinforcement of the Mothman narrative. Professor Kim Stryker, a folklore expert, notes that interest in supernatural stories often surges during periods of great political and societal upheavals, suggesting a link between external anxieties and the embrace of such legends. The 1960s were a time of immense social change and Cold War tensions, providing fertile ground for anxieties to manifest in unusual ways. Skepticism is a vital part of any investigation where the Mothman sightings, genuine misinterpretations, or something more fabricated. Some point to admitted hoaxes and urban legends as evidence of the Mothman's unreality. One local legend even suggests the initial sightings were a prank gone awry. Someone in a Halloween costume in the TNT area. While the credibility of this specific prank theory is questionable, there were confirmed Mothman hoaxes, like construction workers using helium balloons and red flashlights to create fake Mothmen. However, prominent skeptic investigator Joe Nickel from Skeptical Inquirer argues that the initial Mothman reports, particularly from November 1966, are not likely hoaxes. He emphasizes the consistency and detail in eyewitness descriptions of a large winged creature with red eyes and a distinctive shuffling gait. Nichols' skepticism leans towards misidentification, not outright fabrication, suggesting a kernel of genuine, albeit misinterpreted, events at the heart of the Mothman mystery. Applying Occam's razor, Nichols posits that the simplest explanation, misjudging the size of owls in nocturnal encounters, is more probable than invoking undiscovered giant cryptids. Regardless of its origins in reality or perception, the Mothman has indelibly impacted popular culture. John Keel's 1975 book, The Mothman Prophecies, and the subsequent 2002 film adaptation catapulted the legend to international fame. Point Pleasant itself has embraced its cryptid legacy. The annual Mothman Festival, drawing over 15,000 visitors annually, has become a significant economic engine for the town, transforming Mothman into a tourist attraction and local mascot. The Mothman Museum, founded by Point Pleasant native Jeff Wamsley, stands as a testament to the enduring fascination, housing archival materials, police reports, and witness accounts. Mothman imagery is now ubiquitous in Point Pleasant, adorning merchandise from t-shirts to cafe cookies. Folklorist Rosemary Hathaway describes this as a cryptid revival, a way for West Virginia to redefine its identity and leverage folklore for financial gain. The Mothman has transcended mere monster status. It's become a cultural phenomenon, deeply woven into the fabric of Point Pleasant and the broader tapestry of American folklore. So what is the Obscura verdict? Does the evidence point to a misidentified bird, mass hysteria, or something truly unexplained lurking in the shadows? The skeptical arguments are compelling. Owl misidentification, eyeshine, and psychological factors offer plausible, rational explanations for many aspects of the Mothman phenomenon. Yet dismissing every eyewitness account as pure fabrication or mass delusion seems too simplistic. The sheer volume and consistency of reports, the genuine fear experienced by those who claim to see the creature, and the enduring cultural resonance of the Mothman story suggest something more complex is at play. Even cryptozoologists, in their search for extraordinary explanations, often circle back to owl-like descriptions, inadvertently bolstering the misidentification theory. Perhaps the truth lies in the ambiguity itself. Maybe the Mothman was just a large bird, its features distorted by fear and darkness, its legend amplified by human imagination and the weight of tragedy. But even if that's the case, it doesn't fully extinguish the embers of mystery. Why Point Pleasant? Why that specific time? And why does the story continue to captivate, even inspire sightings in places far beyond West Virginia, like the recent reports in Chicago? If Mothman was real, what was it? And if it wasn't, why do we keep seeing things lurking in the dark? The Mothman of Point Pleasant remains an enigma, a persistent question mark hanging in the fog of the unexplained, a testament to our enduring fascination with the unknown.